welcome to You Like That Extra. Welcome to the start of James Gunn week here at You Like That.
That's right.
Starting with today, we're doing Slither. My name is Jack. I am one half of You Like That Extra.
And my name is Adam. I am the other half of You Like That Extra.
Yes, among the other votes were Super, which people say is quite good, but I haven't seen, I think, at all.
I haven't either.
And Brightburn, which his name was slapped on, like that. It was
slapped on, just very.
He had very little to do with it.
I'm so glad that didn't win.
But we're going to talk about it one day because it's interesting in how bad it is.
Oh my
and
God.
It's such a good concept.
It is a very good talking point movie. So maybe
Yes.
much like Seven that has popped up 3 or 4 times
People
in the
really
votes
want
now,
Seven.
and it just won't win.
It just can't win.
It won't win. You put it up against Batman Forever.
And Batman Forever won.
Exactly right. One day, Seven will be there one day.
So we'll watch Seven one day.
Yeah.
Slither came out in 2006. It was sort of his first big, quote unquote, big movie. Someone gave him a budget of $15 million, which isn't bad for a small-time director.
It's not bad for your directorial
He
debut.
wrote and directed it. Box office raked in $12.8 million, so it was a loss. 87% on the critics. Like, where did that come from?
Fucking crazy.
And 63% on the audience.
Realistic.
People didn't gel with this as much. It stars Nathan Fillion, Elizabeth Banks. It's all the James Gunn friends.
Exactly, yeah.
Nathan Fillion, Elizabeth Banks, Michael Rooker, and Tanya Solana. A meteor crashes to Earth in the small town of Wheelsy, South Carolina, bringing with it an alien that finds its host in a local rich man, Grant, unleashing an army of creatures that infect and zombify the town. So,
Huge. Yep.
small zombie parasite alien movie, whatever. Pretty not that ambitious for your first gig, but you know, it wears its influences on its sleeve and stuff. What did you think of James Gunn's movie Slither?
All right, Slither. Where do I start with this? I did not enjoy this movie.
Okay.
It's a very silly movie, isn't it?
It's ridiculous. Yes.
It's
but it knows that.
It definitely knows it. At points, I thought I was watching a Kevin Smith movie.
Yep. That's fair.
It's just the way it pans out and the overall look of everything. It's just like, man, this is really just giving me some stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just throwing it all at me.
Some things definitely happen.
Like you got some decent looking effects in the creature design of like Michael Rooker and that. When it wants to be, at other points it's just absolutely abysmal. But I mean, I didn't vibe with it. I don't know if it's just a time thing, as you always say. Does it stand up in today's standards?
Yeah.
And this was 2006 compared to now. It's like either it's going to be somewhat relevant to what we see nowadays, or it's just going to be like, I can see that as his first sort of big piece into the movie world. And I mean, credit to James Gunn. Look where he is now.
Oh yeah, he did all right for himself, didn't he?
He's done all right for himself in it. But ultimately, I didn't ultimately vibe with this movie.
Yeah, right. So it wears its influences on its sleeve. It's like kind of the Blob, like Night of the Living Dead and stuff. There's bits and bobs of that in there, and like you said, the mix of practical effects, which was done by Todd Masters, who does like Stargate and stuff, so alien stuff, big gooey head prosthetics. But then yes, there is some 2006 CG, which looks like it was from 2006.
Yeah.
I like this movie.
Yeah.
I don't think that'll surprise anyone at all. I really like this movie. Mostly for the prosthetics and the true effects, the real life effects. I'm a sucker for Michael Rooker. I just love Michael Rooker. And he's like in this a lot at the beginning, and then he just fucks off for a bit, and then he comes back in the end, and this just nightmare of a prosthetic set. Pretty much like the whole set is a big prosthetic.
What weirded me out as well is I didn't realize how old Michael Rooker is.
Yeah, because he's old in this.
He is 66 now.
Yeah. And this is 2006.
So man was just in his 50s and looks the same as what he's always done.
Yeah. Like the same voice as
he gets up there as some of the greats in acting that could be like have movies from the 80s and that.
Yeah.
And you just don't think about it.
No.
he's just somehow just stumbled in upon
we
it.
definitely take him for granted, I reckon.
100%.
He's got that Darren Lockyer voice that like someone stepped on his throat.
You get that completely in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes, yeah, 100%.
That's when you get full Rooker.
Yeah, but just like, I don't know, it's just very quaint, which is weird to say about this nightmare alien infection. Like, gross, just disgusting, horrible, like, thing. But it is very quaint. Yeah. It's very small town. It's like, you know, sort of poking fun at Midwest America, like small town America. Everyone knows everyone. Like, the cop's been in love with the one girl since they were kids. You know, stuff like that. There's all that nice stuff. And it comes back around at the end, of course.
Yeah.
But ultimately it is just a zombie movie, I guess.
Yeah, it's just it's more of just a parasite movie.
Yeah.
I would say. It's just a taking over, it's an assimilation, it's a here's an alien threat that wants to now take over everything and then move on to the next.
Interesting we're doing it the same week as Suicide Squad. I won't spoil why.
Exactly right.
Interesting. We'll mention it when we do Suicide Squad.
Yeah, but I mean, talking like look at this. Like, I didn't hate this movie. Is the thing I want to throw is that I can see the appeal with this movie.
Yeah. And
I could understand if I had watched this in 2006, I probably would have loved it.
Yeah.
Because of the time, that's how the movies
That's
work.
what we had.
Yeah. But now watching it, I'm like, I didn't vibe with it, but I'm like, no, but I can get it though.
Yeah.
I understand where it's coming from and that.
Tonally, thank God it was James Gunn, because James Gunn knows how to point the finger at himself and kind of make fun of himself and what he's making.
Yeah.
He's kind of like, this is really stupid. I'll do really gorgeous gore and effects and stuff, but I'll have this stupid redneck, you know, like poking fun at redneck kind of story.
Yeah.
With a stupid love story, like, forced in, but it's like forced in wrong, and it never...
Yeah, no.
You never feel anything because it's just like so tacked on.
Yeah, it doesn't build up enough because you see them, Michael Rooker and Elizabeth Banks are there together, and straight away that's weird.
Yes.
That's a weird pairing for one.
Yeah.
And then you just get the, you know, they go to bed that night and she doesn't want to have sex, he does, and then goes off and pretty much just goes out to cheat on her anyway.
Yeah.
And then he's instantly infected. So you don't have a big, like, relationship to, like, build on. And go, like, well, why is it at this point? Yeah. How long have they been together?
And everyone in the town is like, just in it for the money or whatever. So that establishes why the house is so nice.
Yeah, big house, lovely house.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, it throws in the alien threat really quickly.
Yeah.
And it's all kicking off. Like, I mean, as I said, it's only an hour and a half movie. It's a very achievable movie.
Yeah, as was the style back then.
Yeah,
like
nothing was ever
quick one and done. Yeah. It's like Nathan Fillion is good. I don't know why I like Nathan Fillion so much. Like, I never watched Firefly.
Yeah, well, he was just the guy back then, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was the teen heartthrob.
Yeah, sort of, but
whatever reason.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
He's just a very normal looking man. But I guess he's like super charming, super charismatic,
and that's what won him back in the days.
Yeah, and I like his character in this. He's like he's recently become the police chief, but you know they're just like helping geese cross the road or whatever.
Yeah,
and then he's got this nightmare of a thing happening. He's just out of his depth, and you know he's not afraid to vocalize that. He's just like, yeah, well, fuck this. I'm gonna go and try and ring someone else.
Yep.
Yeah, so I just found this out before, and I've already told you, but Jenna Fisher from The Office is in this as a receptionist. She has barely any lines, and I was like, in 2006, she would have been a much bigger star. Turns out she's married to James Gunn, and that role was another actor who got a role on a pilot and was like, I'm not doing this stupid little horror movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, Jenna Fisher was like, fuck it, I'll like come with my husband to work and jump in. But yeah, it's very jarring to see her because she is extremely famous.
Yeah, it's really weird. You go from The Office to that, and you just go, this is a weird change of scene here.
Yeah, so the zombie takeover happens via little worms that look like tongues that crawl into the mouth.
Yep.
And that's where the bad CG is, because it's got to be a lot of worms.
Yeah.
And they have to move like worms. You can't do a lot of those with puppets.
Yeah,
puppets
when
it's strings, puppets with little vibrators in them, maybe it would still look stupid. Like, you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
But so they just would have looked stupid. But the CG looks really stupid as well, so it's kind of loose.
Yeah, when it's like just like one, it's okay.
It's alright.
But when the horde comes in,
there's one scene where she's in the bath and it crawls across the window and it looks atrocious.
What looks atrocious
so
is when it's actually
bad.
in the bath.
Yes.
Like, it looked like they moved a lot faster, but in the bath,
it's just like...
I'm pretty sure that was a little, like, motorized rubber ducky.
I think that was a real-life one, yeah.
Yeah.
But obviously, A Nightmare on Elm Street, just straight up taking the scene from A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's... Maybe that scene alone is why I like this movie.
Maybe it tapped into
Nightmare on Elm Street.
It tapped into your love for the element.
Yeah, so James Gunn started with Troma, which is this company like John Waters and stuff is attached to. They did The Toxic Avenger.
Mm-hmm.
James Gunn wrote Romeo and Juliet, which is like just a schlocky, stupid love story. But they're known for shocking, disgusting comedic gore.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I've always associated James Gunn with that, even though this is his only gory movie. Until the Suicide Squad.
Yes.
Because Guardians of the Galaxy obviously are Disney-fied.
Yeah. It was dumbed down for that one.
Twitter tried to cancel him and Disney were like, no, we'll still hire him there. Then Warner Brothers were like, we'll hire you too.
Stop trying to cancel people for a tweet from 10 years ago, you fuckheads.
It wasn't even that bad. It was just like, he just said a bad word, I think.
I don't
remember it. Yeah.
It was actually a joke.
Clearly a joke. A guy who works at Troma with John Waters and stuff, like, of course, he's going to say dirty shit. Like,
right. Anyone you go with, is you go back through their history far enough, there's going to be something.
Yeah.
I get it in my Facebook memories all the time, and I have to go, ooh, delete that one.
Yeah.
Because I go, man, yeah, I was fucked up then.
Modern Warfare 2 lobbies were very different.
If you survive the Modern Warfare 2 lobbies, hey,
we'd be saying man. Some shit, alright?
Oh,
yeah. Okay, so, the big practical effects, you got the girl in the barn, which is horrifying. You've got
fucking horrifying, right?
You've got like he's feeding her the worms pretty much by injecting her.
Meat.
He's got little tendrils that he just sticks in her belly,
mm-hmm.
and you're to assume he's shooting little worms in there, and they're
shooting
growing.
Something in there.
Yeah, and and that makes them extremely hungry. These zombies, and they're just eating like raw meat and stuff. It's one of those movies you can smell. It's just like oh god. You've got Michael Rooker. The first stages of his transformation, like it just starts off with a couple of pustules and stuff, and then you've got him as like a slug, which looks ridiculous.
Yeah, very ridiculous.
Because he's clearly just on a trolley or something, like in his little sack, and then like, but
without a doubt,
the full, just crazy detail. On
yeah,
this.
Definitely was a lot.
Yeah, and it's just like it's all shot at night, unfortunately, which just looks like shit. Yeah, and then the first sign of inkling of bad CG is the cow.
The cow scene.
He blows up a cow and it's just straight out of PS2.
Yeah, there's that. And that scene irked me a lot. Not just like for the cow part, but it was like him like slowly like inchworming his way towards it.
Yeah.
And then as he's dragging it away, inchworming his way away with it, and then they confront him in that.
So that's clearly him still in the suit.
Yeah.
And then when they confront him, he's like super fast.
Yeah, like
it just makes no
flattens
sense.
Down and then bolts, and I'm like, why don't you just get the cow like that?
Yeah, why hasn't he been doing that the whole time?
Yeah, obviously
all these people
you've got movement ability, like you've got plus 99 to speed.
Yeah.
Fucking use it, man.
Yeah, and then it's just a CG nightmare for a little while. And when the worm goes in your mouth, you get to see the history of the alien.
Yeah,
which is extremely funny and stupid and played very seriously. So I don't know if that's taking the piss or not.
Yeah, it really tried to like bring out the assimilation vibes of being like, yep, this is what. Like, it really tried to drive the backstory to this alien creatures.
And they're all watching documentaries on Charles Darwin and survival of the fittest and stuff. And then when you see the alien on its home planet, it's like it's dominating this army or whatever, taking over the whole planet.
Yeah.
And it's just like, well, okay, we don't need to see that.
Yeah. Cool.
It doesn't matter at all. But it gives that character, she's like, I know what to do. You have to destroy the host.
Yeah.
And you'll destroy them all. Probably would have figured that out anyway. But, yeah.
Yeah, sure. But, it just took a worm in the mouth to get that sorted out.
And then we go back to practical at the end when Michael Rooker has transformed into the whole house.
Yeah, he's just gone goop.
He's just taken up a whole living room. Like this entity. I don't even know how else to describe it. It's like this gooey,
it's just
disgusting entity.
And has to speak through his other little hive mind creatures.
Yeah, because his
attached
mouth's
to him.
all fucked up. And, like, yeah, you see someone assimilating with it. You see the fat guy get down and, like, strip down and then just, like goo into it.
Fucking merging into it. And you're just like,
it's very
great
uncomfortable, which clearly they just did in reverse, I think.
More than likely.
Yeah, they would have just, like, he would have backed out slowly, like with a heat gun or something to get rid of the prosthetic. But it looks alright. It looks pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, Michael Rooker's, like, drooling and shit. And then, yeah, they just blow him up with a propane tank. The whole town's dead, but everything's okay because you got the girl.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
Which I feel like is which I feel like tonally is a joke ending, but it's hard to tell because it's played quite seriously. It's so weird, but it's everything. It's everything else. It's like it's all the people acting the way they are, like when they've been taken over. Some of them are just really bad. Yeah, because the idea is Grant is speaking through them. Yeah. But yeah, none of them really give it much of a crack. Not really at all. I mean, not really any. Because it's like even the parts when he's talking through one of the other police officers and like talking about his love for Elizabeth Banks and that. And you're just like, what? Yeah, it's just kind of like nothing. Yeah. Because like you said, it's not built up enough. Like.
Because then it just tries to bring it back around to love by the end of it.
Yeah.
And you're like, fucking, why?
Yeah, it's like, because it comes across as Grant is doing this for love.
Yeah.
But Grant is the alien. The alien took over Grant.
Yeah.
So he's not motivated by Starla, which is Elizabeth Banks' character. So that doesn't make a lot of sense. The alien should just be wanting to dominate and take over the...
Yeah.
And he doesn't realise it's a small town or whatever.
Yeah, shouldn't really...
That should have been the story, but I never even thought of that when I was watching it. Yeah. That doesn't make much sense at all.
It doesn't. They like try to bring the emotional comeuppance at the end, and no, you just got Nathan Fillion coming in with the propane tank, and...
I guess it's meant to show that there's still elements of Grant in there, so he's aware of what's happening, and I guess that makes it quite horrifying. It's a horrifying thought. It's like the STEM thing in Upgrade, like...
Yeah...
Old mate's still in there somewhere, but I don't know.
Somewhere.
Maybe he just didn't think of it.
Maybe.
And he was like, I want to have these moments where Grant is talking through zombies.
Yeah, but I mean, like the whole movie just comes around really fast.
Yeah.
Because as I said, there's no story build off from it. It just kind of it just all happens.
Yeah.
And just keeps steamrolling until, everything's done and dead, and you're like, okay, well that's done.
Yeah.
Would have liked maybe a bit more of just Michael Rooker being Michael Rooker.
Yeah, I agree.
But I did laugh excessively when he is first taken over and he's gone to the butcher.
Yeah.
And he's saying like, I'll get 8 ribeyes. Yeah. He's like, no,
nah,
make it 12. Actually, I'm sorry, 14.
Yeah.
And then he unloads his truck and it's just full.
It's so much more than 14.
Yeah, but it's just the way he's talking to the butcher. I'm just like that. Yeah.
And you assume he's been there for like a long time because he just keeps asking.
Yeah.
But once the transformation takes over, you just get less of him.
Yeah.
And then it's more about the little worms and about the zombies.
Yeah, which I mean, even still, they take a bit to get into it anyway.
Yeah.
Because they sort of got to grow inside of old Bertha in the barnyard.
Yeah.
Because I tell you what, when that barn scene opened up and she's sitting there, the size of the whole barn, and just a little head popping out the front there, that's when I went, this is a Kevin Smith movie.
Yeah, it's an incredibly funny movie.
I was like, show me the listing. Surely he's part of this.
Yeah.
Exec producer or something.
And like she's aware of what's happening to her, but she's still just like, just give me food. Like, this is happening, but I'm so hungry.
Yeah, which is just crazy, and they just keep growing and growing until it explodes into a CGI nightmare.
Just a horrible. There's 2 explosions in this movie, and they're both terrible.
Yeah, they're definitely nothing to write home about at all.
Yeah,
but it's
just a quaint little zombie movie.
It's not a bad movie.
No,
you just got to appreciate it for what it is.
Yeah,
like there's so many worse movies out there.
Yeah, it's not for everyone.
Yeah, no.
And that's usually a bit of a cop out when you're talking about a movie, but this it's true. Like, some people are just going to watch this and go, this is fun.
Yeah, when it's more registered as a cult following, that's when it's its own thing.
Which this wasn't, because the audience is much lower than the critics.
Which is, exactly right. But and that's where I beg to go, how the fuck did it get 87% from the critics on this?
I saw a screenshot of Michael Rooker as the Slug, like around the cow scene in Empire magazine, and that's how I found this movie.
Yeah, Roger.
And like, yeah, so me being that age, whatever it was, fucking would have been 14, 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like instantly like, oh, I have to watch this movie. So maybe that,
yeah,
that's probably why
I always remembered seeing the cover art.
Yeah.
Everywhere we're going to like the video store and that. Yeah, Video Easy and all that. I'm just like, oh yeah. Just never picked it up. Never thought to watch it.
I thought maybe it would be a rose-colored glasses thing with me, and I like this nostalgia of it more. But I don't know, watching it again at this age, I just had a fun time with it again.
Yeah.
I still like this movie. But again, it's very up my alley. Like,
yeah.
If you watch it and you know anything about me, you'll be like, yeah, that's a bit of Jack.
And James Gunn gives himself his own little cameo.
He is. He's at the very beginning. Yeah.
Looking very nice and young.
Yes. Before his grey hair kicked in.
Very nice and
young. Now he's a silver fox daddy.
He's a silver fox daddy now, making a great movie.
And he's making a very big movie that we're doing this week on the main show.
Correct.
He has done The Suicide Squad.
Yes.
But this episode was Slither, his first little crack at a movie. I thought it was interesting to talk about anyway. I like this movie.
100%. James Gunn's just interesting in general. I mean, the dude just skyrocketed. You look what he did for Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. But it wasn't off the back of this. It was off Super.
Yeah.
And then even between Super and Guardians, it was a big gap. It was like 6 years, I think.
Yeah, it was something big. That's why I looked at his list of directing credits, and I was like, oh, he hasn't actually done as much as I thought.
Yeah.
I thought he was all over the map, and I was like,
nope.
No, he hasn't.
But yeah, so Slither, it's a quaint little Midwestern horror zombie flick. If it sounds like something you would be interested in, go and find it. It's not on any streaming, so
you can get it on Google Play.
You have to dig
rent
it up yourself.
For $5.
There you go.
You could probably also find it at CEX for probably $2.
Honestly, probably.
And yeah, worth it to pick it up.
But you can find us at instagram.com/YouLikeThatPodcast. There's a link tree in our bio there that will take you everywhere.
The link tree is everywhere. The link tree will be in this video.
Yeah,
We'll be in this Spotify.
It is
uploading.
Extremely easy to find us.
We're accessible. We're everywhere.
If you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe. Please like it. If you're on Spotify, follow it. Chuck a screenshot up on your Instagram story and tag us. Go to You Like That Podcast.store.
That's the one. Get yourself some merch.
Yeah, there's a bit of merch up there. And then come back on Sunday, where we will be talking about the Suicide Squad. My name is Jack. I can never remember how I finished this. My name is Jack. I have been one half. You like that?
This is how you know you've done too many solos.
Fuck me. My name has been Jack. I have been one half of You Like That Extra.
I still don't think that's right.
Jesus Christ. And
my name is Adam, and I've been the other half of the You Like That Extra podcast. We'll see you all next week, guys.
I'll probably get it right next week. Bye.